Hello everyone, this is Steven from MarTech Wiz. The tool we're going to look at today is OptimizePress. OptimizePress is a WordPress plugin for landing pages, and this tool has some great features and a lot of nice elements, but a subpar user experience and editor are the downfall of this OptimizePress product. It ranks 14 in our rankings of the best landing page tools. We gave it a score of 7 out of 10. So let's take you inside OptimizePress and show you how it looks and how it works. Since it's a WordPress plugin, the dashboard is nicely right in the dashboard of your WordPress site. So here you'll see you can create a new page. This is the dashboard section where you can make some pretty standard changes, all here, which is nice. Analytics and tracking, any integrations you can do here. They do have a good amount of integrations, including some I haven't seen, like MaroPost, MailPoet, ArpReach. I'm not sure if those are widely used or what exactly those programs are, but if you're using those programs, this is one of the few, if not the only, landing page builders that does directly integrate with those. Now, OptimizePress also has something called Launch Suite, which is basically a funnel builder. So this way you can connect a couple different pages together, ultimately leading to the sales page. And it's a funnel, it's a sales funnel. So basically you create one and say, just name it. And then you add your funnel stages. So basically these would just be pages that you have set up, and you can describe what you want the navigation to be. So when you're going through the funnel, they have all the different steps. It took us a while. We didn't really dive into this, but it did take us a little bit of a while to figure out how this works. You have to turn on this funnel gateway key, and basically this is this is like a code that I believe you use so that your pages link together in the correct way. You have support, and then experiments is the name of their A/B testing tool, but it's not online yet. So if you go to find out more, it will say it's part of the Plus pack, which looks like it's launching this month, November 2016, and it includes A/B testing, video backgrounds, and some other kind of premium versions of things they already have, like comparison tables or element animations. So we're not sure what the prices of this is going to be. There's not a whole lot of information, but for now there is no A/B testing to really speak of, even though it's listed here. So let's go ahead and create a new page. When you create a page, you'll have a lot of different options, and you can browse down here to see all of the different templates. I believe they have over 30 or so templates. You'll see here the design, at least in our opinion, is not as modern, not as clean as some of the others out there. You have a fair amount of pages that are kind of the old internet marketing style with a lot of arrows and bold. You don't have a lot of like full width image pages, not a lot of minimalistic pages, but hopefully you can find one that works if you do use this tool. But we aren't very impressed by the templates. So let's just go ahead and pick this one and jump into the editor. So the editor itself is a column-based drag and drop editor. This is an editor that is one of our least favorite types of editors, and that's because it's not really a true drag and drop. You can't just drag things wherever you want them. They have to fit into either a specific place in the column or a specific place in the row. It's not like you can just drop it on top of here, or say drop it in the middle. It's gonna kind of go to the closest open space. Another thing we didn't like about this editor is you can't just drag the element directly. You actually have to highlight it, hover, then go over to this move button, which is all the way over to the right outside of the element, and then move it from there. So just kind of an unnecessary step, annoyance that you don't see in a lot of other tools. Overall, we didn't find this tool very intuitive. You'll see it has different sections here where you can add elements and rows. So that was a little confusing because you don't see that in other tools. And it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's like, is it designating these areas as the only place where you can add tools? So that's what we thought at first. However, if you do add a tool or add an element, like let's just say we add a, what do you get once? It will go there, but it doesn't necessarily mean it needs to stay in that area. So you can move this around afterwards. Now, also one thing it took us a while to realize is we were a little dismayed at first that you can't delete these, and we were wondering how to get rid of those. Now, when you preview the page, those aren't going to be there. And actually, we realized after quite some time that you can actually hit this Show Hide Controls button, and then that's gonna get rid of those. Now you can't add an element now without those controls on the page, so that's an issue. Okay, another strange thing is that this editor, you see it pulls up within the dashboard, but it's not full screen. It's kind of a screen within a screen, which cuts down on the real estate and the size. So if we scroll down here and we scroll a little bit too far, you'll see it scrolls the whole dashboard. So then you have to come up here because there's two different scroll bars. Again, this took us a long time to realize, but we found out that there is a way to get this full screen. Basically, you hit Shift and then click the Live Editor logo, and this will get the editor to pull up in a full screen window, which is so much better. We don't know why they just don't have this as the default, but once you have it in this full screen, the experience really goes up a couple notches. Some things we liked are the ability to easily clone rows, the ability to easily move rows. So I can move this whole section. Let's say if I want to move this down to the second section, and then this one moves up here. Obviously, I probably wouldn't want to do that for those, but maybe for some of the sections down here, if you want to move latest training above whatever this one was, you can easily do that. And like I said, you can easily just clone a section like that, and of course, delete the section. So the options on the left-hand side are kind of the basic things that you're going to see. We do think it's nice to be able to toggle off header and navigation. Basically, if you want it to be a landing page, you're probably going to not want a footer and not want a header. But this can be used more as a site builder tool as well. With those on, it'll be a regular page. You have color settings, typography settings. What's going on? Let's see if there's anything interesting in here. You can do your meta title, meta description, tracking scripts, your exit redirect, the funnel. So this is an interesting option, exit redirect. I strongly don't recommend it. It's kind of I guess it's a little bit shady. It's a lot shady because it's banned, but you do have an option. I haven't seen it anywhere else where you can actually redirect the user on exit intent instead of pulling up a pop-up like a lot of sites do. You can actually, when they're trying to exit the page, you can send them to a different URL. So I didn't even know that was an option. I would also not recommend that, but just found that pretty interesting. They also have a membership, some membership functionality within OptimizePress too. So we didn't delve into that too much because it's a little bit outside of the scope of a landing page tool, but it also is slightly related because you can use that to gate content and gain leads through the gated content. So that's a nice option to have, assuming that works pretty well. We don't understand this section, why there's another template section with only like a few templates. I guess if you want to change the template. So that's that. And just save, and if you want to preview, if you public link. One thing I wanted to mention was if you go into your media library, we didn't see this with any other tools, but they really give you a lot of bloat in terms of images. They download. These are all OptimizePress. I believe they're almost all OptimizePress. Definitely the majority of them. That they just automatically upload into your media library. So all of this, down to here, all of this is images that they just automatically upload. So it was kind of a shock when I first went into my media library and I didn't recognize any of the stuff here. So not a great user experience there. Okay, let's go ahead and add some elements and see how these fare. So they have a lot of elements that you can add. Let's pick out some of the ones that, let's add a button. It's always good to see that. Okay, so the buttons you have here, one thing you might not have noticed, which we didn't at first, is that these are all standard templates, but the top one is actually a button designer. So if you want to create your own button, that's what you hit. And you can make any changes that you want here, and so on and so forth, and link out. So that's how you create a button. But let's just put in this one for now. Okay, so they do have a nice option for two-step opt-ins. So if we go down here and click, what they call it is an overlay something or other, overlay optimizer. So again, you're going to get the buttons here. Let's just choose a standard button, green, and we can say download PDF and insert that. And basically here what you can do is edit this, and you can add any element to pop out. So for two-step opt-in, you're going to want a form, or what they call an opt-in box. So you can just put in this. And another really nice part of OptimizePress is they have all these different pre-designed templates for forms, which you don't see in every landing page tool. And they look good. We like the design of these a lot, so we'll just add that in. You know, we have to fill this out, of course, for it to function, but okay, good. So that's all you need, just so we can see it. So if we save and then preview it over here, we'll be able to see how it looks. It's a real nice kind of two-step opt-in. Kind of strange how they have this here. I also wanted to see, okay, looks like that's not mobile responsive. We'd have to double check that on a real page, but if the preview is anything like what we see, okay. So otherwise it looks like it is mobile responsive, but definitely check if you do that that overlay optimizer to make sure that that is in fact mobile responsive. They have some nice calendar graphics, a countdown timer. At the end of the countdown timer, they do have some options. You can do nothing, or you can redirect them to a URL. So some dynamic options there. Also, another nice thing that they have in all of the boxes is a little help video. Use the calendar date and time element to display the specific time and date of a webinar or other event. So they have these really compact, short, and very useful help videos for every little thing. HTML container. They have some multi-elements boxes, and we thought they did a good job with these, so you can add little kind of pre-formatted sections. So this is definitely an upside of and a strength of OptimizePress is just tons of different options. So yeah, guarantee boxes, and really just the list goes on. Some membership options, opt-in box for a form. We talked about overlay optimizer, pricing tables. Now you'll see here some of remember we talked about the plus pack? Even though you really can't buy it yet, some of these are locked as being plus. So we're not sure if that's going to be a monthly extra. And then all those different elements, the plus pack elements, so the ones that we think will basically be premium, are down here, but you can't really even use them now. If you see, just can see a video about them, and if you click here, it will take you to that screen that we showed before. So in terms of the elements that we liked, the countdown timer, you can add custom fonts. Exit overlays is a nice option. They have some icons for an icon library, and then the sales funnels. The A/B testing is not yet in place, as we mentioned, so we're going to wait to hear about that. And the membership site functionality is something that could be a nice extra, especially if that's something you would have bought separately anyway. Some things that we're missing that we haven't talked about yet is Zapier is not natively integrated. There's a workaround for that, but it's pretty complex. In the fields, in the forms, there's no advanced fields like drop down. You're not really able to, in an easy way, create a page for Facebook page. So there again is a very complex video on that, but it's not something I would recommend a tool for if you're going to be doing that a lot. And then it's also a WordPress plugin. So there's, I think, mostly advantages from that, just being to have all your pages in one spot, your landing pages with your regular WordPress pages, being able to use, like for example, the shortcode of other plugins. Like you can use a Yoast to do SEO. So there are a lot of upside. The major downside is you might have some conflicts with other plugins, and they actually have a section, I believe in the dashboard, where it shows you if you have any different, I'm not sure exactly where it is now, but basically they can show you if you have, compatibility. So they can show you if you have any plugins that are going to potentially conflict. I didn't, so I didn't see how that looked, but I assume it just gives you some troubleshooting to fix the issue. So essentially your publishing options are publishing as a WordPress page. There's no subdomain, as in all WordPress plugin landing page tools. And if you really want to do a Facebook page, you can do that, but like I said, it's quite a pain. In terms of pricing, like most WordPress plugins, it's just a one-time price. $97 one-time cost to run on 3 sites. So that's a really good price. $97 is equal to, with a lot of the SaaS tools, only 2 or 3 months, and you're getting it for 3 sites. So no complaints on price. And as we mentioned, it came in 14. Now, how did it come? How did it come to the rankings that way? Well, basically, it got a 7 out of 10, and that breaks down to design. It got a 6, usability a 5. Features an 8, and then price a 9. So that comes out to a 7 out of 10, as we mentioned. And this is just one out of over more than 15 landing page builders that we reviewed. So you can check out the other reviews on our site. Here's a link to that. see who's number one, see who are some of the other ones that you may be considering. You can also download a free buying guide. We think this is going to be very useful because we've looked at over 20 different landing page tools and have tried them all. And we really know what are the most important factors, who has what are the price points, who does things well versus some people just having something that's not really fleshed out. And we talk about all that in our buying guide. It's completely free. You can download it on the site. So thanks for watching. Again, this is Steven from MarTech Wiz.